Good morning and welcome. Today we're going to talk about something that matters deeply to me, and I think it matters for unity as a whole, and that's the difference between affirmative prayer and toxic positivity. Unity teaches affirmative prayer. We teach positive thinking. We teach that our thoughts shape our reality. These are core principles of our practice, and they're powerful and true. But there's a line between healthy affirmation and toxic positivity. And when that line gets crossed, real harm can happen. I had, and that is the operative word, had someone in my life who wouldn't allow you to express an opinion that she considered negative. She would tell you how to feel, what to say, what not to say. Everything had to be super positive, upbeat, focused on the good, and if you dared to express anything else, frustration, sadness, worry, doubt, concern, you'd get shut down, corrected, and redirected to higher thinking. It was exhausting, and it was damaging, because there was no room for authenticity, no space for real human experience, and no permission to just be where you were. Now, I want to acknowledge something else that's important. There is a difference between setting boundaries with someone who's always a bummer and having the freedom to have honest communication and emotions with someone you care about. Those are not the same thing. We'll talk about that distinction later. But first, let's be clear about what toxic positivity is and why it matters that we recognize it. So it's the insistence that we only acknowledge, express, or feel positive emotions. It's the good vibes only culture taken to an extreme. It's refusing to acknowledge or feel anything negative. It's forcing positivity on yourself and others and not allowing authentic expression of real emotions. You see it everywhere on social media, but just be grateful. Everything happens for a reason. Good vibes only. In spiritual communities, you're creating your own reality. So if you're struggling, you must be thinking wrong. Don't focus on the negative or you'll attract more negativity. It sounds like at least you have your health. It could be worse. Just think positive. Don't be so negative. You need to raise your vibration. Stop complaining and focus on your blessings. And here's the thing. These statements aren't always wrong. In and of themselves, they're not a problem. Gratitude is powerful. Perspective helps. Positive thinking matters and makes a huge difference in day-to-day life. But when these become weapons to shut down real emotion, to invalidate genuine struggles, when we use them to force people to pretend everything's fine when it's not, that's when it becomes toxic. Toxic positivity says only positive emotions are acceptable. Only positive thoughts are spiritual. If you're feeling negative emotions, you're doing something wrong. Fix it. Change it. Don't burden others with it. So, to be clear, toxic positivity can, in fact, cause real harm. It makes people feel worse, not better. And when you're struggling and someone tells you to just be positive, what you hear is your feelings don't matter. Your actual experience is wrong, or you're falling behind spiritually. It invalidates real experiences. Pain is real. Grief is real. Fear, anger, all of them, they're all real. And when those experiences get diminished or minimized or spiritually bypassed, people feel unseen and unheard and very alone. It creates spiritual bypassing using spiritual concepts to avoid dealing with painful feelings or difficult realities. Everything is perfect. It's all part of God's plan. I'm choosing not to focus on the negative. These can be ways of avoiding the hard work of actually feeling and processing what's real. It isolates people that are struggling. If the only acceptable state is positivity, happiness, being upbeat, then people who are going through hard times feel like they can't be honest. They can't ask for help. They can't be real and authentic, so they have to suffer alone and pretend everything's fine while they may feel like they're dying inside. That damages relationships and trust. When people around you know they can't be authentic, when they know their real feelings will be shut down or corrected, they just stop sharing. They stop being vulnerable, and the relationship becomes surface level at best, if it even endures. And here's the truth. When people can't be authentic around you, when they can't express real emotion without being corrected or redirected to positivity, you've crossed a line. You're not helping them, you're harming them. And you're really not helping yourself either. So let's be really clear about what unity actually teaches, because it's not toxic positivity. Unity teaches denial and affirmation, but not in the way that many people think. Charles Fillmore taught denial and affirmation as spiritual practices, but denial doesn't mean pretending something doesn't exist. It means denying its power over you. It means refusing to give the problem ultimate reality. You can acknowledge, I'm experiencing pain right now, while denying this pain is my permanent reality, or this pain has ultimate power over me. You can say, I'm feeling afraid, while denying fear is the truth of who I am, or this fear controls my life. That's denial in unity terms. It's not pretending the problem doesn't exist. It's refusing to give it the final word. And affirmation isn't about forcing yourself to feel positive when you don't. It's about claiming spiritual truth, even in the midst of difficult circumstances. I'm experiencing financial struggle and I'm held in divine abundance. I'm feeling deep grief and I'm surrounded by divine love. I'm afraid right now, and God is my strength and my refuge. Both things can be true at once. Unity's affirmative prayer doesn't deny current reality, it claims spiritual truth alongside current reality. Charles Fillmore wrote, "We deny that which seems true of us in the limited or material realm, and we affirm the limitless spiritual reality." Notice, seems true. He's not saying it's not happening. He's saying it's not the ultimate truth. Myrtle Fillmore, when she was healing from tuberculosis, didn't pretend she wasn't sick. She acknowledged the physical reality while affirming spiritual truth. She said to her cells, "You are not weak, you are not diseased, you are made of God's substance, and you are whole and perfect." She was coughing blood while saying that. The physical reality was undeniable, but she refused to make that the ultimate truth. That's unity's teaching, and it's radically different from toxic positivity. You can affirm what you want, you can encourage someone else to do the same, but when you won't feel your feelings if they aren't positive, and you won't allow others to feel theirs, you cause more harm than good. So let me give you some concrete examples so you can feel the difference. Someone tells you they just lost their job. Toxic positivity says everything happens for a reason. This is just the universe making room for something better. Don't worry, just stay positive. Healthy affirmation says, I'm so sorry. That must be really hard and scary. How are you feeling? And then if appropriate and invited, you can add, I believe you have the strength and resourcefulness to get through this. How can I support you? Someone shares that they're grieving. Toxic positivity says they're in a better place now. At least they're not suffering. You should focus on the good memories. Healthy affirmation says, I'm sorry for your loss. Grief is hard. I'm here if you need to talk. And maybe later, when they seem ready, may you find peace and comfort in the love you shared. Someone tells you they're depressed. Toxic positivity says, you need to just think more positively. Count your blessings. Choose joy. Healthy affirmation says, that sounds really difficult. Have you talked to a professional? What kind of support do you need? And then I believe you can get through this. I'm here to support you in whatever way helps. Can you see and feel that difference? Toxic positivity diminishes, it dismisses, and fixes, whereas healthy affirmation acknowledges, it validates, and it supports, while also holding hope and that ultimate truth. Here's something crucial. Unity doesn't ask us to bypass or deny emotion. Feeling your feelings is part of spiritual practice. Your emotions carry information. They're telling you something important. Fear might be telling you to be careful. Anger might be telling you your boundary's been crossed, or maybe that you need to set some. Sadness might be telling you something matters deeply to you. Grief might be telling you that you loved, and you love deeply. When we refuse to feel our emotions, when we spiritually bypass them with affirmations and positive thinking, we miss the messages. We miss the information and the opportunity for real healing and growth. We can't give or receive empathy if we can't feel our feelings and have honest communication. Rita Marie Johnson teaches the connection practice, which is kind of a synergistic combination of nonviolent communication and heart math. And one of the core principles is the power of empathy, real empathy, not fixing, not comparing, not redirecting to the positive, just being present with someone in their experience. I was not a fan of the feel your feelings idea for a long time. It seemed like therapy talk or wallowing, or I don't know. I was fairly comfortable with sad, mad, and glad. Everything else was kind of over the top for me. But when I attended one of her workshops, it changed my mind completely, because I experienced what it actually feels like to receive real empathy, to have someone just be with me in my experience without trying to fix it, change it, make it better, or one-up me. And I felt what it was like to give that kind of empathy to someone. The connection people felt when giving and receiving genuine empathy was profound. It was healing in a way that no amount of positive thinking ever could be, because it was real, honest, and human. And that's what we miss with toxic positivity. We miss the connection. We miss the realness that actually heals. Now, I do want to say, I think nonviolent communication is amazing, and it can have people in their heads too much. I had a friend, again, operative word had, who was very into nonviolent communication, and she would say all the right words, follow the format perfectly. When you do X, I feel Y because I need Z. But she completely missed the concept. She was performing empathy, not giving it. She was following a script, but not connecting to the emotions that people were sharing. The words don't matter if the presence isn't there. The format doesn't matter if the empathy isn't real. Real empathy means feeling with someone, letting yourself be moved by their experience, not fixing or solving or redirecting, just presence. And you can't do that if you won't allow yourself or others to have real, honest, authentic feelings. Now, let me address the distinction that I mentioned earlier, because it is important. There is a real difference between someone who is constantly negative, who complains about everything, who drains everyone around them with their negativity, and someone who's going through a hard time and needs space to be authentic about their struggles. You can absolutely set boundaries with someone who's always a bummer, someone who never has anything positive to say, who shoots down every idea, who can find the dark cloud in every silver lining, and who makes every conversation about their problems. That's different from not allowing honest communication with people that you care about. That's different from refusing to let people express real emotions. Setting boundaries can sound like, I care about you, but I'm not in a place where I can hear about this right now. Can we talk about something else? Or even, I think you need more support than I can give. Have you considered talking to a therapist? That's healthy boundary setting. I also like to hear them and then see if there's any openness for even a small piece of positivity, just to help them remember what that might feel like. But toxic positivity sounds like you're being so negative. You need to focus on the positive. Stop complaining. Or don't bring that energy around me. I'm only accepting good vibes. If you keep thinking like that, you'll attract more negativity into your life. One honors the relationship while protecting your energy. The other shames the person for having real feelings. And here's something else to consider. That person who seems negative all the time might still be looking for the empathy they've never gotten. Maybe every time they try to express something real, they get shut down or redirected or told to be positive. So they keep trying in increasingly desperate ways to be heard. They might need more than you can give. They might need professional help, but you may want to just try giving them real empathy first, really listening, giving real presence, not fixing or solving, just being with them in their experience. You might be surprised by how much their negativity decreases when they feel heard. So we're going to move to our meditation now. I'd like for you to go ahead and get comfortable and take a couple deep breaths and just let all that negativity go. If you're comfortable, close your eyes. Take a few deep breaths. Bring your awareness to how you're feeling right now. Not how you think you should feel, not what would be the most positive or more spiritual feeling, just what's actually true for you in this moment. And I want you to imagine for a moment that your emotions can take form as characters. Maybe they look like some of the emotion characters from Inside Out. Maybe they look completely different. Maybe they're animals or shapes or colors. Just let your imagination show you whatever's right for you. See if you can identify which emotions are present for you right now. What characters are here? Are they all here or just some of them? Now invite them to speak. One at a time. Let each emotion that's present tell you what it has to say. What message does it carry? What's it trying to tell you? Maybe sadness is saying something important to you is changing or ending, and you need to grieve that. Or it could be anger saying a boundary was crossed, you need to speak up. Maybe fear is saying pay attention, something needs you to take care of it. Maybe joy is saying this matters, remember this moment. Whatever emotion it is, whatever they're saying, just listen without judgment, without trying to fix or change or redirect. Just listen to what your emotions want you to know. And if one of your emotions is particularly strong right now, ask it, what do you need from me? What would help you? And listen, really listen. You don't have to act on everything your emotions tell you, but you do need to hear them. They're part of your inner wisdom. They're guides, not enemies. So thank your emotions for speaking, for showing up, for carrying messages. Even the most uncomfortable ones, maybe especially the uncomfortable ones. Take a breath and acknowledge all of my emotions are valid. All of them have something to teach me. I don't have to be positive all the time to be spiritual. I can be real, honest, authentic, and that itself is a spiritual practice. So in just a moment, we're going to enter our minute of silence and just be with whatever is true for you right now in this moment. And as we come back from our minute of silence, take another deep breath and just release whatever came to you. And as you're ready, gently bring your awareness back. And if you'd like, wiggle around a little, get comfortable again, and open your eyes. So, being positive is good, but so is being authentic. And when we value positivity over authenticity and force ourselves or others to only express positive emotions, we really can cause harm. Unity's affirmative prayer is powerful and real, but it's not toxic positivity. It doesn't deny what's happening. It claims spiritual truth alongside current reality. It acknowledges the struggle while affirming divine presence and power. You have permission to feel all of your feelings, the uncomfortable ones, the messy ones, the ones that are not positive or uplifting or spiritual sounding at all. You have permission to be real. And you're invited to be a safe space for others to do the same, to offer real empathy, not just positive platitudes, to be present with people in their pain as well as their joy, to honor their authentic experience instead of redirecting and forcing them into positivity. This doesn't mean wallowing. It doesn't mean staying stuck. It doesn't mean that we can't also practice affirmations or claim spiritual truth. It just means we do it honestly. We feel what we feel. We acknowledge what's real. And from that place of honesty, we can genuinely affirm, this is happening and God is with me. I'm struggling and I'm held in love. I don't know how this will work and I trust in divine wisdom. That's the difference, and that matters. And so it is. Thank you.